Okay, thank you, everybody. When I was preparing for this conference, it just dawned upon me that I did not have business cards. And so I was thinking, what do you do now? 24 hours, you need to get ready. So what I did was prepare these QR. And please, if you wish, you can scan it. I hope it works. Nowadays, if you are working mobile from everywhere, from home, from this and from that, there are these technicalities that you go to business meetings and you don't have business cards anymore. So when Gosha talked to me, I was having a look at the program and I noticed that yes, we can talk day and night about the challenges at the working place. I am myself now 33 years working in the business sector with big international companies at different management and leadership positions. Apart from my honorary function as honorary consul of the Republic of Albania. And one of the key focuses of my work is what I call people development. So what I'm going to tell you today is, are we trying to fill a gap and at the same time not noticing that we are creating another one? Why I'm saying this? Well, this is the picture in Germany about the lack of skilled workers, employees, being them academics or at different positions. And I can take a lot of industry sectors to discuss this. This picture shows this. It is the overall economy, then especially services, health, facility management. And we are having quite a challenge also in the HORECA. Even here today at this hotel or any hotel you would go. Last night I was checking in at Radisson and I talked to, the whole team was Indian. So everywhere you would go, I keep joking nowadays, I say Albanian has become an international language. I see my country people everywhere. So it's always good to know a language from any other country because this is the reality. And the second thing that comes to the mind is, what are we doing? If the need, if the demand is picking up, where do I find them? If I would be an HR director, I would start thinking, and a manager also, I would start thinking not too far away, not too big challenges, not a discrepancy in mentality, in languages, whatever. So what would you do? You'd look at the other countries in Europe. And the second thing you'd start thinking about is, how far can I go? How quick can I get them here? And does it create for me a big problem to bring them into my working force? I'm showing you a picture of the skilled people from the Balkans. Albania is exemplary here, but I bet any other country on the Balkans will have exactly the same pattern. Why do employees nowadays have a look on the Balkans? Yes, we said it is very close, maximum 2,600 kilometers. If we are driving on the German motorways and the new European motorways, it means even you come by car, it is not more than a day. The second thing that is very, very typical for the skilled workers from the Balkans is that we are having a labor force that is young, and it is more than 50% in the age group of 20 to 49 years old. I guess this is the only age group that is interested from the point of view of human resources managers. And as you see, you can have them in sectors where you need men, construction, and where you need women, healthcare. In the Balkans, you have a very good distribution. You have also a very good life expectancy. And the German tax office would be very happy to see them performing and paying taxes for the aging population of Germany. We can take India if you like. We are not going to have a different picture. Is this workforce educated? Because this is the second challenge that we are facing. If they are taking them, and my colleague talked about it, and the other colleague in the morning, he said, you may have talents, but you do not have competence. And employers need competence. They don't need talented youngsters or people from the Balkans or anywhere. They need competent workers. So competence comes from education, and if you see in the Balkans, what we are having is that 26% has completed secondary education, and we're having 23% with a university degree. Now have a look at the transformation of these countries. 2013, academic education, 30% of the population. In 2019, 23.3% of the population. You would not have such figures on Western Europe education. Why? Everybody is thinking that education is going to play a very important role, and we'll see what this means. What is also typical in the Balkans is this line. It is called the primary education. It is not primary that you go to the primary school until the 4th class. It is what we call in Germany Hauptschule. The 9th degree is finished. Basically, you have a basic education. So these people is quite significant, the number, 50%. Because they are needed in the construction sector, for example. You do not need a lot of sophistication there for this sector, and you need the workforce. The third question that every employer would put himself is, but are they willing to leave? Is good, educated, young, women, men, are they willing to leave? And if you see this, yes, they are very willing to leave. And as you see, Albania is leading, Kosovo is following, Macedonia, but you have also other countries. We are talking about lack of skilled force. Okay, they are leaving, but where would they like to go? Germany needs them. Do they want to come to Germany, or is Germany like a Rocky Horror Picture Show? They don't like to come. It's not integrated. It's Nazis, it's whatever, discrimination. Well, as you see, Kosovo people, they quite love Germany. Albanians love more Italy. And the same picture will be for all the Balkans. So yes, they are willing to come to Germany. They are willing to come to Western Europe. They are willing to migrate even across ocean and to the United States. Let's see it in concrete figures what this means, because here we are talking about percentages. But here we are talking about figures. And these are real figures. As you see, we have an explosion. For every employer, this is an excellent situation to have really customized salaries and offers. They want to come, they are close, they are educated, they speak the languages, and I don't even need to convince them. So the salary minus 20% is a very good demand-oriented picture of the labor market. But what is motivating the other side? What is the other side of the medal? Because you can have them here, but are they working for you? And this is why I would like now to talk about the second part. So, what is the answer to that question? Fill a gap with willing, well-educated, easily affordable young Europeans from the Balkans? You again have my business cards here. This is the business card as a honorary consul, and this is my business card because I'm a business consultant, especially specialized in company development, including people development. Have a look at this. As you see, what is being a key driver to the figures that we saw, the demographics, is the real GDP. We have quite a disastrous picture for small countries. For Germany, minus 2% in GDP is nothing. For Albania, Bosnia, the Balkans, it's a big deal. That's the perspective. Have a look at this. The unemployment of the young people, well educated in their own countries. And have a look at this now. This is the Balkan Barometer 2022. And if you see, the respondents are saying that the push migration factors are 47% are responding, and it is quite a number, considerable number of responders there. Current economic development in their own country. So this picture, they do not see this improving. Of course, they are not dealing with macroeconomics when they make their decisions, but they feel it. And this is the perspective. 20 years old, you see this perspective with the labor force, where still above the 10%, and 10% for small countries is quite a number. Next, the second driver that is bringing them is not only the gloomy situation in their own countries, but it is what they are expecting from the employer here. And as you see, and it is a very interesting picture, the first one, where you have the highest ticks on the questionnaires, is a better salary. The key driver for them to become your employee, our colleagues, is money. The second one is better pension after retirement, but have a look, because they are young. They are not thinking of in 65 years old terms. They are thinking 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. That's it. The second thing is, and there you can see better advancement opportunities. If I would run this questionnaire in a well-established German big company, say HORECA or Aon or whatever with whom we work, I'll have all these picking up here. These are the things, they are incremental, 10% salary increase, whatever. For the Balkans, for the skilled workers that you need, they are thinking in terms of multiplication of salaries compared to their salaries in their home country. Now, I took this picture because it is very interesting. We're saying they are very highly educated. Yes, indeed. But highly educated needs to be defined. And this is the picture of the education of women, typically from Albania. Albania is a tourist country with 380 kilometers of coastal line, so a lot of tourism, very open. Now imagine small Kosovo in the mountains, even Bosnia, with all the other problems. So now have a look at this. Therefore, I'm saying this is very typical. Yes, they are educated, but these countries are agriculturally, are countries depending more on agriculture, and this would be the picture of their GDP as well. It is coming mainly from agriculture, about 35 to 40%. Okay? You'd like to have them in manufacturing, but there is not a lot of manufacturing there. And they do not have the latest technology. You'd like to have them in construction, and then, okay, this is mining and this is typically for men, but then trade, transportation, accommodation, food, whatever, these are the typical functions that you would like to have. What is very surprising and what needs to be taken into consideration from the Balkans, if you take the people, is that a high number of skilled people from the Balkans are working in their own countries in public administration, in top-down decision-making structures. The boss says something, I do it. The boss doesn't say it, I don't do it. It's a business mentality. Okay, so this is another picture from the Balkan Barometer, and it shows us the competences that the young people have learned or advanced when they took their job. And as you see, the most important one again is, strange enough, learning to communicate in their own language. Can they not communicate? Or what does this show us? It shows to us that the perception coming from the academic world or from the university or from the secondary school is not the same as working. And it is not the same as working for different types of workers or employers, especially is not at all the same if you're working for foreign investors. Language skills. Everybody in Albania, on the Balkans, is now learning German. German has become the language. English is in any case very, very important. They know it all. Maths for IT. Because this is one of the sectors where we need skilled workers. And the last thing is, have a look at this. I had to learn how to turn ideas into action as well as to plan and manage projects. My colleague here would have said this is the first thing that we discuss with our people. But in terms of relevance, how the skilled people from the Balkans see their perspective and developments and where they are willing to pay money, go to courses, go to conferences. This is not a priority. Okay, lifestyle. What is very interesting is that if you see how they think they would move forward in life, there is a little bit of a discrepancy on the first thing that everybody thinks in Albania, and this is becoming now like a disease. Everybody is trying to push the kids to come to Germany and become academics. 50% there. It's not at all on the average. Of course, they understand that they have to work hard. And the third one is very interesting because it is almost the same everywhere. What is important to get ahead in life for skilled workers from the Balkans is to have the right connections. Now, where do you get the right connections if you go to a German employer? I'll come back to this because they need now to get information. We here in Western Europe, including myself, although I'm Albanian, normally read the newspaper, go to the library. My colleague said, I read a lot about this. Yes, we all read a lot about this, but look what the skilled workers from the Balkans do. I was shocked. Kosovo and Serbia, 62 and 54%, they get the information from their friends and family. They don't bother reading the books and whatever. And if the friend says, you don't need to tax your salary in Germany, then this is the law. It is not the law that I go and read what I can do and how I declare the tax in Germany. The law is, he tells me what it is. But this is a mentalities thing. And I don't know how many of you come from the Balkans or have been there or have been more or less in Southeastern Europe. But if I put the question here, what has most impressed you if you go through the cities? At 10 o'clock, at 11 o'clock, at 12 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock is coffee. Drink a coffee. Now, how do you solve that problem with your mobile? And these people get frustrated if they can't get that coffee. They cannot produce because it's a lifestyle. And now we are coming to the other issue. Fine. We heard you about this and we're thinking about this and we know about this. And some of us are also coming from the region. Yes. But it is very important because for us, they are very close. It is the mentality, the culture, everything is very similar. Yes. And now we come to this. This is a very funny picture of Europe. I call it the inland island. It is you see, it borders on EU and Schengen. It's not only EU, it's Schengen. And despite that, all these people, if you want to employ them, and they don't even go to the coffee to drink coffee, they have even forgotten that tradition. They are really productive people. You can't get a visa. You need almost 3 months to 1 year from each German embassy in each of the countries to get a working permit for one individual. Now, it has happened to me that I had to coach a group of youngsters, but they were not so young, they were about 21 and 30, who had arrived to Germany to work in the health sector. One of them had tried it 4 times. One of them had come with his girlfriend. They wanted to marry, get kids, very happy, very settled, very focused, learning German fast. The third one, divorced, 30, with a kid 6 years old. We were trying to coach her how to be motivated and whatever, and she was asking all the time, how do I get my kid here and where do I bring my kid? And then we had another situation, excellent doctor in toxicology. She had just given birth to her son, came here to Germany, left her son with a mother-in-law and her husband, and they are still there. And she's supposed to work concentrated. Imagine a surgeon. they are not getting the family reunion in time. If they get the family reunion in time, it doesn't mean that the trouble is over. These are things that will affect them. So, and then if you ask the politicians, when are the Balkans going to join the EU so that we don't have at least these headaches and they are happy and they can come and motivate and so on and so forth? Well, have a look. By 2025, it's less than 50%. So we are talking about 2030. I'm not asking the politicians because they will not give you an answer. But this is also an indication. So what are we dealing with here? It is not only filling a gap of workers that are missing, academics or whatever. We need to work on the peculiarities of this market, which is really very attractive and it is really very healthy. But for every employer, we need to work. And why do we call it clusters? We at Sprint, when we work with customers that have employed, say, 15 workers from the Balkans because in the health sector, in the care sector, then we always say, build clusters. Put them together, those who have similar problems. Because if they keep talking to all your workforce every day with their worries and no one takes care of that, they will start affecting negatively the mood. If you put them together and bring them together, for example, with diasporas, then they will start talking their own language and network. It saves you a lot of money. What we did with this group of people that we had to take care of, I asked one of the associations of the diaspora, and I told them, look, take the group with you, go for a walk through the city of Essen, and please show them all the shops. But before, have a coffee and ask whether they have kids, and you need to go to the kids shop, whether they need computers, whether they need clothes. So understand more or less what they need, bring them there. If they see it, they know where it is, and they are not looking at the watch to, I need to do something, but I don't know where to go. That's number one. It doesn't cost you a thing. The second thing was they needed to interact, to feel the environment. And what we said is, do you have 50 euros? And they were looking at me and said, 50 euros? We are paying the HR companies, recruiters, 35% of their salaries to get one. So I said, no, I need 50 euros because I'm going to offer them Glühwein at the Christmas market. Because if they are there, they are drinking this, they'll start feeling the environment and they will be willing to interact. Sometimes you don't need big budgets, but you need to care for these people because they are not objects, they are not products that you are buying from the Balkans, you are buying human lives. And the third thing is that we need to understand what is driving these people, because after all, you would like to have higher productivity rates. We need to have a high labor cost efficiency, and you need to have it harmonious at the place of work. If you have people complaining all the time, it's not going to help. The personnel department will either throw them out or will have to pay a lot for parties and whatever to get them motivated. And they have to have a life. You need to help them integrate. They need to stop calling every 5 minutes and writing SMS. It happens to me in the office because I try always to integrate and to bring them and to give them a chance to learn with us. Also at the consulate, every 5 minutes, the mobile. If you have employees working every 5 minutes doing this, you can forget the productivity. And please do not forget, what is driving them is A, salary, because in their countries, unemployment is high, cost of life is high, and they have to support families and themselves and create a future. The drivers of the skilled workers from the Balkans are not the same drivers of the people that you are employing in Western Europe. So you don't need to worry, because there are a lot of experts here. I'm very glad to be among colleagues with whom we can share. If we can help, be that in a honorary function or in a business function, please feel free. This is the second business card. It is at the back side of my business card. Otherwise, I have to put 2 in my bag. Feel free to contact and to discuss this. Thank you.
Thank you.